So watch the commands I'm using. dir is, as usual, short for directory. Okay. So I'm going to put it over here. So we call this make directory. It says the 13th. I'm going to create a directory for this one. And we're going to put the files here. So the files that I need are going to be in this directory here. And it's just a place for me to put files, nothing super complicated or interesting, it's just a place to put files. Back off mute. So I have this directory here. All right, so the next part is we need some files. So I have this here. And I might need some keys. So let's take a look. All right, that's good. So my command Terraform is available. That's the main command that we're going to do. And then let's make sure we have our keys. So I think we have our keys. And I'm going to check under this user. Security credentials, access keys. This might be one that I created personally, so this might be a personal key, but we're about to find out. All right, so I do have a key. Let's see if I can actually use it. All right, so what is it that we're going to do? So we're going to create, I talked about user groups, users, and a group is just like when you use anything in the English language, any other context in the English language of the word group. It's you have something together. But right here, I'm going to talk a group of users. And who are the users? Well, the users could be the students, or they could be employees, or it's just a way to put people together and identify them as one thing. So it could be a group that's in your city or your town, your school, your job, soccer club, et cetera, and so forth. So what I'm going to talk about is the users and groups. You have a role. A role is what every person could do inside an organization. So in organization, you have users, say people, for example, people. If you put the people together, then you have groups. If I tell you what the users can do, then these are roles. So if I give a role would be something like you're responsible for accounting. That's your role. Or you're responsible for the utilities. That's another role. Or you might be responsible for security. That's another role. Or you might be responsible for communication. That's another role. So a role is what you can do as an individual. And you have policies for your role. So these 4 things here, they're not different from what people use in just like a regular context, just in life. You have people who are users. Those users come together as groups. The people in the group have a role. There's something that they do to help the group progress or to achieve a goal. And there are policies. So there's rules. So the policy might be that only an administrator can be in the office anytime, but the policy might be everybody else can only be there from 9 to 5, which is true of a lot of places. So they'll have a policy that certain people can be there anytime, Monday through Sunday, other people can only show up at certain times um, to do a specific job. So that job might be 9 to 5. So I'll give you an example. For the type of technology that I use in the project that I have, they want people doing things from 8:30 to 5:30. So between 8:30 and 5:30, the policy is no matter what you do, that they treat it as normal. So if you're very, very busy between 8:30 and 5:30, Monday through Friday, that's great. That's regular business. But the policy might be if you're doing something on the weekend, now they get a little bit suspicious. Okay, what are you doing at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday? Because that's not typical, especially here on our end. It's a holiday weekend, so only very few people who usually there Monday through Friday are going to be there on a Saturday or a Sunday morning. So that's what I mean by policies, roles, user, and user groups. Things of the same English language terms. So let's see. Let me set this up. And I don't want to set this up with I'm going to create something here. Delete this here. And this is good enough. So I'm going to create a file. And we're going to build it little by little. What are we building? So I want to show that even here, so for example, here, I can create a user. I can create a group. I can create a role. I can create a policy, right? So I can have a user here, right? He's in a group, right? That group has a policy, okay? I had these roles, and I'm going to create another one. I have these roles, but I'm not using the roles for anything right now. But as you can see, there are 3 roles. I don't have them assigned to anything, but one of them that might be something that is relatively easy to explain is role for trusted advisor. So that one gives you permissions to get access to a service so that you can make recommendations. So you get extra service, you get extra permissions because, and that's a role. Just like in real life, you have a role that you perform, and that role is going to give you access. And as long as you have that role, then you can have access. If you take away the role, you don't have that access anymore, or if the policy changes. So start here. So we're doing AWS. All right. So I'm gonna leave this. I think the only other thing I need to do, region, since we're still in the US West 1, excuse me, East 1. Let's see if I can just keep it at this. Oops, my hands are a little bit clumsy this morning. It's okay. We're gonna get there. All right, so that's the beginning part of it. I had the other parts, my keys are set. Well, hopefully I might have to create a new set of keys. I might have to do that, or I might not. We'll see. And I'm going to copy what I can, but I might have to just type in a lot of this stuff. So I'm using this tool called Terraform. I've talked about it before. Terraform is a tool that's not focused on how you do something, but is focused on what you do. So I'll say I'm not focused on how to create a car. I just want to create a car. So I say create a car. So in this case is I want to create something here. You have these things that you can create. You can create I'm going to keep repeating this so it's clear. You can have an action, create a user. You have an action, create a group. You have an action, create a role. You have an action, create a policy. And that can happen different ways. There are many different ways to do it. In life, you choose one. There are many ways, there are many roads you can go from one city to another city. You want to go the straightest, shortest way, Sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you have to go east and then north first, and sometimes you have to go north and then east first, right? So if you go east and then north, you end up at the same place as if you went north and then east. Or if you went straight across, you still would go to the same place. So the thing to think about is the destination, and not so much as the path. You have to pick one, but there are many. So at some point, you have to make a decision of which one you want to use. So what I'm saying is that I'm making a decision. I'm going to use this as a path to create what I want. And there are other ways of doing it. When you pick one, and you pick one that's a little bit easy to kind of makes it easy to control. It makes it easier to share that information, and it makes it easier for people to change it if necessary. So let me keep it simple for now. Let me try something here. Oops. All right. Okay, so that's 5 and higher. So I'm going to run this command. This command I run a lot. And what I'm going to do on my end is I have too many windows open. So I'm going to close a few of the windows I have, because otherwise it's going to get confusing to me too. And just leave the windows I have that I need. So, all right, I think that should be good enough. If I need another window, I'll create another one. So right now I'm doing a yeah. Okay. All right. So right now, what I'm doing is you say, what are you doing? So you have a user who's like a real person. So Mikkelson is a real person. Rigo is a real person. I have that. I know you guys know what that means. So in this group, I have 2 people, right? Mikkelson and Rigo. So these are real things. And then I have policies, roles that are also real things that you use in real life. Like you can touch people, you can touch people in groups. Roles and policies, they're ideas. They're like rules. So you have to treat that a little bit differently. All right. So that's the goal. That's what we're doing this morning. That's what we're going to create this morning. That's what we're going to walk through. So you're going to see a set of rules that I'm going to create. So you're going to see, so right now you only see 3. And I think once this is done, you'll see, let's see. All right, you'll see 4. You'll see 4. All right. Let's do that. Let's do that. And I'm going to create this one. And what I'm going to also do is, as I create one, I'm going to run this command again. Oh, let me do this. Before I forget. So this is not going to do anything because I don't have anything. I'm just saying like where stuff is going, but I haven't. You notice I don't have anything there. I don't have any users or anything. So yeah, so no changes. So, and the other thing that I was trying to remind people, usually if it's green, it's good. If it's red, then there might be a problem. So right now, everything is in green. So we're gonna let's create some things. So one of the things I want to create is a role. All right, let's do that first. So role, I'm gonna call this. I'm going to call this example. So role is like, just like in a movie, like a role you'll play. So what's a good movie that's out right now? Like Marvel. And so Thor is a role, or Captain America is a role. Who else? Spider-Man. You get what I'm saying. Hulk, Black Widow, you watch those movies, and I'm sure most of you have seen one of these movies. There's been like 20 of them. You've seen one of them. So Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, those are all roles that people play. So I'm going to use those examples because I think most of you have seen it. The other movies that people watch, it might be something else, yeah, just something else. But no matter who you are, you speak English, you kind of know who Batman is. You kind of know who Spider-Man is. You probably know who Wonder Woman is, and you know probably know who else I say Superman. Probably know who Wonder Woman is, and everybody knows who Batman is, right? So I'm going to create a role. So, and the thing is, like, this is actually important. Um, the thing about Batman is that people can, in the comic books and in the movies, different people have played Batman. So that's a role, right? To use that as an example. So in Batman, the first one I remember is this guy named Adam West. He played Batman first. He's the first one I remember playing Batman. Then you had, I think it was Michael Keaton. And then you had Val Kilmer, Robert, George Clooney. Then you had Christian Bale. Then you had Ben Affleck. So I think that's like six. I think that was six people. And you had this other guy, the Twilight dude. I forget his name, Matt something, I think, or Mike. But you get the point. So you had multiple people play Batman. There wasn't just one person. There were multiple people. So that's what you have to think about a role. You have multiple roles, and different people can play those roles. So sometimes some people play one role on one day, and then 2 weeks later, they're playing a different role. So right now, I want to create a role that lets me do, let me make sure I'm not messing this up. So I'm just going to type this out. Usually I copy and paste it, but this time I am actually going to type out what it is, because I want to see if I make a mistake, I want to be able to capture it. And sometimes the mistakes, you have to go through the mistakes and just understand, how to fix it. Patterson, something Patterson. That's his first name, or his last name. I don't know what his last name is. All right. So probably the easiest way for me to do this is this. So right now I'm just writing out roles, like who can do what, right? And if you look at this, I'm going to type the word effect, and then I'm going to type another word, allow. That means I'm giving permission here. I'm giving permission. So as part of the role, I'm saying this person can do this thing, but I'm not saying who it is. So now I'm going to say who can do it, right? Because when you say a role, you say what can the person do in the role, and who can do it, who has permissions to do it. So I can't be Batman. Always give me that permission, but I think I'll be a good Batman. And I'm going to keep going until I think I could type this out until 11. Then we can pause, take a break, and then for like 10 minutes for any questions, or if you guys have to take a break. All right, I think I want to get at least to this role. Let me get there and see if I got this to work, and we can actually see it appear. So action. And then, all right. So I'm giving permission for someone to have a role, right? All right, that looks good. Looks good. I need to add this to here. All right, so now this matches with this. All right, that looks okay. Then I have that one, and then I got to match this part right here. And okay, I think that should be it. And we kind of push this in a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, that one's there. That one's here. Okay. That one's there. Okay. That one's there. And that one should go here. Okay, so let's see what happens. Right. Made a mistake. So all I'm doing right now is I'm creating a role. And let me check to see. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Like this. This part, that's comment here, statement, principal, service, this, that, this, 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 and this part has to be here. Oops. So again, what is it complaining about? Source, so it's red, which is not good. There's another way I can do this, but I'm gonna try this until 11, then we can take a break. While I look this up and see what the difference is. It's taking a minute. All right. Okay, so the problem was, I'll show you what so now it's showing green again. Green is a good sign. So the problem was, this is where a lot of practice. It's where a lot of practice is needed. Do this.